Okay, so now that I'm actually moved in, living at my friend's house, you can see behind me there's a bed I'll be sleeping in. Basically just want to summarize this whole thing. So, didn't work out exactly as I planned for the first couple days. If you remember that the NCRB was closed for some type of renovations that week, so I had to actually wait to use that until like Monday, which was about 4 or 5 days that was cut out of the 10 that I was supposed to be able to use it for the whole 10. So we got over that. That wasn't a big deal. Total, I slept in 4 different lots. Blue lot, 2 different orange lots, 3 lots on campus, I guess, and then 2 off campus, the Myers parking lot, and then the rest area. So overall, they were all pretty easy. I have an idea that I probably could have stayed in any of those for a good amount of time before I ever got noticed and never got knocked out my window. Nobody ever came by. Nobody ever even looked at me funny when I got out of the car and moved stuff around or whatever. Probably the only people that knew anything were the people at the laundromat when I had to open the back of my truck where the bed was sitting to actually get my clothes out to wash. But basically I would say that it was easier than I thought it would be after I got through the couple of crazy days with the mishaps, not being able to take a shower easily at the NCRB, so I had to go to the IM building. But overall, I mean, this whole thing just basically taught me that stuff that I pretty much expected it to teach me, which is the main reason I wanted to do it, was just to show that you don't really have to have that much stuff to live on. Like all these things we have, TVs we watch, all this stuff that's in our life is really not necessary to live. You know, everybody knows that, but like when you don't really ever live without it, it's like we expect it, we deal with it, we watch TV multiple hours a day most of the time, we have our shows to watch. But when you're on the road all the time, you don't have a house, you don't have TV. Maybe you could go to a sports bar, watch a sports game. If you don't have a TV, so you actually have to find stuff to do. You have to be creative. Maybe go get some internet somewhere, like Panera, like I did. But overall, you pretty much have a lot of downtime. I did some reading some days, but because we watched a lot of TV. So it's actually something I'm not going to try and get back into that much now that I'll be living here at my friend's house, because you just realize that it's a waste of your time, and that when you're disconnected, you know, maybe you learn like the Tigers game, what the score was, and you didn't actually watch the game, and you realize it just doesn't become a big deal because it's not a have to. It's something that you'd like to do, but you don't have to. Same thing like I said earlier, you know, you have stuff in your car, but you realize you need even less than you have. Like, I could live on a lot less clothes than I had in there. I probably had a month's worth of clothes, but you know, I don't need that many. Just when it comes down to what you need, there's not much. All the basic things you have food, I had a place to shower, I had a place to sleep. It was a bit nerve-wracking a few of the first nights, hoping somebody doesn't come by, but once you pretty much get over that, you really don't have anything to worry about. I mean, obviously if someone were to do this and try to do it for a long period of time, it would seem like they should probably move somewhat frequently so that people don't start to say, hey, I see that, or whatever. I mean, also most people wouldn't have, I mean, I had a pretty sweet setup. I mean, I just bought an SUV, so I had plenty of space. My bed actually fit in the back. It's pretty easy to get around in that type of thing. Not too good in gas mileage, but other than that, overall pretty good. I mean, it was black with black tinted windows. I mean, come on. I mean, it's pretty much perfectly set up. But yeah, ultimately you just don't need that much, and ultimately it was a good experience, but I'm glad to be living in a house now, considering it does get pretty boring. So that's pretty much it for the whole thing. Hope you guys had fun watching it, laughed at me. It was kind of crazy for a little while. I tried to mix it up, try to make it interesting, and who knows, at least I know in the future if I ever have to do something like this again, I know how to do it. So pretty much to end this thing, I just want to pretty much say some thanks. I just want to thank God, because the first couple nights I prayed that I wouldn't get thrown in jail, I wouldn't get caught, wouldn't get in trouble, because I looked up some stuff on Ann Arbor City website to make sure I wasn't doing anything illegal, in the hopes that I would have a defense if I had to get arrested or something. So you definitely came through on that. Also want to thank everybody that sent me emails or called me saying, hey, you know, I got a place to stay. I appreciate that. I mean, obviously I wanted to do this rather than had to, but it was nice to see people reaching out, you know, lending a hand, saying they would give me their room even though I didn't actually need it. And mostly want to thank my mom, because when I came up with this idea and thought that I might do it for 10 days, maybe just a few days even, she said, no, this is the stupidest idea ever. And it was actually that fear that I saw and heard my dad that made me want to do it even more, because I was like, you know, it struck a chord. I was like, you know, most people are scared of ever being in this situation, so I want to do it to alleviate that fear, not only in myself, but to just show people that it can be done and it's not the end of the world. And so I want to thank her for that motivation, and I still love her. So that's it. If you see me doing any new videos, obviously they'll be on YouTube, and I'll send an email out saying here's my next crazy stunt. Other than checking for that, catch you later.